Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.com. Chapter 1. Number T.105. It was a calm and quiet night, or at least it should have been. The nights in the city were busier than the days. A good place to see this was at the city's night market. As night fell, the rainbow lights flickered on, the hawking of various street vendors began to sound out, the smell of various snacks filled the air, and there was too much merchandise for the eyes to take in. Among the hustle and bustle of the night market, in a simple, little, outdoor eatery selling stirred-up fry, there was a table of customers with a completely different atmosphere compared to the surroundings. They were three men with grave expressions looking somewhat indisposed. However, as far as the bosses of the little eatery, the old Wang couple, was concerned, these three were frequent customers. The one among these three men who could cause others to raise an eyebrow was named Yi. It was a fairly ordinary name, Yi meaning leaf and Song meaning pale, but his appearance was not ordinary. He had white hair, white eyebrows, as well as fluttering white eyelashes. Even his pupils were a weird pink with a hint of red. His expression faintly showed some grief. He had a delicate face, a scrawny build, and fair white but not sickly pale skin. At this moment, with one hand on his forehead, he gave a deep sigh. Considering our credits at the city college, our failed courses, as well as the results of the group combat test. I think we should start properly considering our livelihood until the next test. Sitting on Yi-song's left was a big man in a tank top with a crew cut named Zhang Jingxiong. He had sculpted face with stalwart and manly features, an abnormally well-built body, and tiger-like eyes. It made people think he was a muscle head. Even though he was sitting, no one would doubt that he was at least 185 centimeters tall. At this point, he nodded his head, casually looked at Yi-song and said, "Bro, what's your plan?" The one sitting on the right of Yi-song was a very ordinary-looking youth named Lin Lu. He had a sort of eldest child from next door impression. He had neat and tidy short hair except for one bundle that stuck up and would occasionally sway back and forth, a hogue. He was short, around 160 centimeters if you were being generous. His gaze made him look smart, but it had a little dullness to it too. Hearing what Yi-song said, he indifferently shrugged and lightly nodded his head to signal them to continue. Yi-song slowly put both hands on the table, his fingers interweaved. He took a deep breath, played with his clean white eyebrows, and said seriously, "Considering our classes, we have to repeat so many that we're screwed. We've also been disqualified from our only hope, the group combat test. However, I still have a plan for our current situation. I merely regret is that recently I pretended to be Lele and gave his rich girlfriend a call asking her to provide for us and she refused. Therefore, it appears we have to use our plan B, find a part-time job to support us until the next group combat test." Zhang Jingxiong raised his head and felt something was wrong. He doubtfully pointed out, "Hey, bro, wasn't our plan B to let our younger siblings provide for us?" "Brother LiuXia, what does it mean to provide for us?" Lin Lu, who was also involved, blinked his large eyes and expressed his puzzlement. Yi-song and Zhang Jingxiong looked at each other and sighed. Yi-song gave Lin Lu a cold look and returned to the subject. "The next group combat test is in half a year. We need to make enough to live. So Xiong, you're responsible for pushing the fried cake cart. Lele, you set up a stall and sell roasted yams." The two of them slowly nodded their heads. Zhang Jingxiong thought of a problem. "Bro, what about you? I'll be responsible for supervising you two and to collect the money. Conveniently, I can help both of you stand guard." Yi-song said ruthlessly, not embarrassed about it at all. Just at that moment, a clamor emerged in the night sky. It was the sound of the holographic commercial again. The three of them simultaneously raised their heads to watch the dazzling hologram in the sky. Swords and magic interweaved, good and evil collided, countless classes and all kinds of creatures clashed in a battle royale, creating sparks. ***, conviction will open at 9 o'clock. An unknown and mysterious new world is waiting for you to explore. Brave warriors. What are you still waiting for? ***, Conviction was produced by a coalition of game developers. Every country's government came together to release a new generation extremely lifelike virtual game. One must be 18 years or older enter. A short moment later the dazzling commercial finished and it returned to being peaceful. Wow, it looks like it'd be so awesome. Lin Li's eyes sparkled like a child's. Bro, what do you think about relying on that and becoming professional gamers? Zhang Zhengxiong murmured while staring at the hologram. Yi Song slowly retracted his hands from the table and leaned back on his chair. He closed his eyes, faintly frowned and pondered for not even a second. Suddenly, he nodded and said seriously. Sure, then it's agreed. Cheers. Wait, let's toast together once Nana arrives. Lin Lu happily let out a childlike smile and cried out. Long live brother Lil White. Yi Song calmly smiled and pet Lin Li's head. He raised his cup, the three of them glanced at each other, then they all downed their drink. I say, you three. You drank it just like that. Heartless, didn't even wait for me. Just as the three of them raised their head from drinking, a rough female voice arrived. Although it was rough, it gave people a heart-warming, cheerful feeling. The three of them simultaneously looked towards the source of the voice. She was in a black windbreaker that was worn out yet covered the body, a leather top with a leather skirt, long fishnet stockings, and leather boots that were up to her knees. She had deep smoky eye makeup and blood-red lipstick. She was like a model wearing black gothic clothes. Both her clothes and her makeup were extremely gaudy. She carried a big guitar case as she smiled and walked towards the three. Everyone around looked at them strangely, but the three were used to it, they didn't give much reaction. This girl was precisely the Nana that they mentioned before. Her real name was Wu Na. She was a member of a band called Falling Sand that was quite famous at Linhai City College. The band was busy today. Yi Song smiled looking at the new arrival. We'll be performing soon. Today we practiced a lot. Wu Na shrugged. She set her guitar case aside and slowly sat down. She rapidly split open her chopsticks and hurriedly began eating the freshly fried squid. I'm starving. Oh right, how were your tests? Failed. Failed all of them. Yi Song raised his chin proudly and said. Same. Zhang Zhengxiong slapped his chest and said with a smile. Me too. Me too. Lin Lu bounced excitedly like a kid. Cough cough, Wu Na choked and looked at the three of them, her chest heavy. She then roared at them. What's there to be proud of? Wu Na gave a helpless sigh. Then what about the group combat test? We were disqualified. Yi Song said, as proud as before. Wu Na rolled her eyes. She wanted to ask why, but an announcement hologram appeared nearby and broadcasted. This time's group test, groups number T.13 and number T.36 have passed, and group number T.105. Yi Song, Zhang Zhengxiong, Lin Lu, these three people, due to excessively vile conduct, caused 3 instructors and 15 examinees to suffer mental trauma. They are disqualified from this test and have to retake it. Wu Na's mouth hung open. What did these 3 bastards do? She suddenly turned her head to look at the 3. Beautifully done. Yi Song raised both hands to high-five Zhang Zhengxiong and Lin Lu. Wu Na didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She felt a surge of anger. All the bottled-up anger exploded out. You guys, what exactly did you do? Also, this isn't something you should be celebrating. Yi Song and the guys stared blankly for a moment. They raised their heads and thought back. I remember while we were at the 3rd District's riverbank barbecuing, some instructor Wang or something cursed at us, however, brother LiuXia beat him up. Lin Lu faintly raised his head and said after thinking back with great effort. Afterwards, we confiscated all his equipments. I recall it was Lele who said. Let's punish those evildoers that bully us. Bro, agreed too. We then made him strip, then tied him naked onto a raft, then, Zhang Zhengxiong added in. It's all Lele's fault. He wanted to hold a festival and make a wish. Yi Song exclaimed, complaining and interrupting. Eh? That's how you guys humiliated the instructor. Wu Na mouth hung open, these three fellows are really out of control. Her dressed up, slender eyebrows raised. Wait. What festival? We prepared 3 candles, lit them, and wanted to put them on the raft. Unfortunately there was no more room, so we put them on the instructor's body. I made so many wishes. I even wished for world peace, wishing everyone can be forever happy. Lin Li's eyes were filled with hope. He began to recall the scene and his wishes. The 3 of them, hand in hand, seeing off the naked instructor Wang while making wishes into the night sky. However, afterwards, I realized it was a good opportunity to show off my great strategic mind. Yi Song once again butt in and explained. Wu Na was already dumbfounded. There was still more. How much did those 3 need to toy with instructor Wang? She put her hand on her forehead. There's more. After that, bro, used the floating raft and the electric grenade that we confiscated and made a trap. He put the grenade under instructor Wang's ass, and as long as anyone helped him, it would explode. It would use the moisture in the air and the surrounding river to paralyze everyone in a large radius. In brief, we electrocuted another 2 stupid instructors who tried to help him. We continued to strip them too and to confiscate their equipment, made another 3 raft traps, and it just snowballed like that. We followed the river and, in total, got rid of 3 instructors and 15 examinees before we were finally called back to the command center by a broadcast. Zhang Jingxiong proudly said, then put on a sympathetic expression. It's a pity that they invalidated our combat achievements. Lin Lu unhappily clenched his teeth. Huh? Nothing we can do. Heaven is jealous of our brave and talented little squad. However, just wait half a year. We'll be back. Yi Song sighed then faintly smiled. He wrapped his arms around the other 2's shoulders to console them. Definitely. Lin Le and Zhang Jingxiong simultaneously nodded. They had a resolute smile. Bro, next time let's think of a method to bomb the command center. Zhang Jingxiong said in a bad mood. Exactly. They're too hateful, calling us to the command center to disqualify us. Lin Le said, fanning the flames. Humph, be at ease. This hatred, we will surely get revenge. Yi Song grabbed both their shoulders and sneered at the holographic announcement. Wu Na facepalmed speechlessly. Mother of God, was this still a combat test? Blowing up an electronic grenade under an instructor's ass, and not only once. She couldn't help but shudder. She who understood the 3 of them began to pray for the people in the next test. She gave a deep sigh. Then what do you plan to do now? For a period of time, we'll be professional gamers or something in the new game, Conviction. See if we can make a bit of money while we wait for next year's test. Oh right, Nana, you should join us. Yi Song's words caused Wu Na to roll her eyes. Her heart beat furiously. Just them 3 and they wanted to march into the game and become pros. Did they think anyone could become professional gamers? Did they think the virtual world was so easy? Her head hurt as she weakly nodded while having second thoughts. She decided to just treat it as playing games together. Then good. It's decided. Yi Song happily nodded. He split his chopsticks and the 4 of them merrily enjoyed their meal. City College's 3rd Science Building. This group T.105, Yi Song, Zhang Jingxiong, Lin Lu. These fellows sure are amusing. A middle-aged, scholarly man in a Western suit, who just finished looking over the combat test data, murmured. Yi Song age. 21 stamina. C superpower. Not tested strength. C technique. C IQ. 74 evaluation. Doesn't excel at anything. IQ fairly low. Zhang Jingxiong age. 21 stamina. A plus superpower. Not tested strength. A plus technique. A plus IQ. 85 evaluation. Body is a work of nature, blessed by heaven. He's a genius among geniuses. Lu age. 20 stamina. D superpower. Not tested strength. F technique. F IQ. 61 evaluation. By far the lowest of the low. No talent. A normal person's IQ is 90. These three fellows are all below average. Especially Lu, he was clearly admitted through a back door. Oh wait, he was recommended by Song Xian. That's interesting. And that Zhang Jingxiong is a martial genius. Without systematic training or family inheritances, yet he's strong enough to give an instructor trouble. As for Yi Song, however you look at it, the middle-aged man's fingers tapped on the table. He slowly turned his head to look at the female in tight commander clothes, a professional ponytail, and an elegant oval face that looked exceptionally cold. Not one hair was out of place. She said in a somewhat condescending tone. This group number T.105, all their power comes from Zhang Jingxiong. As for Lu and Yi Song, all they're good for is coming up with these rotten ideas. It's fine to ignore them. Is that so? The middle-aged man smiled and stroked his chin. So be it. Let's first observe Zhang Jingxiong then. Look into his background. The 5 schools competition is coming up. We have Qin Shaotian, Yang Hua, Sun Shui and the others. However, we still need more outstanding talents. I know. The woman with a ponytail gave a serious nod and turned to leave. The man thought of something funny and asked. Right, how are Instructor Wang and the others? The electric grenade have traumatized them. They are emotionally unstable. 7 of the examinees chose to transfer full-time to the liberal arts department. The woman didn't turn around and directly left. She thought back to when she brought people to rescue them. The spectacular scene of a large number of naked people drifting on rafts. Many kinds of whales, crying out for their parents to take them home. Afterwards at the hospital, the trembling students and raging Instructor Wang. Ha! Those 3 troublemakers. The man took the hologram of Yi Song, faintly smiled and murmured. No outstanding qualities. Yet your scores are way too ordinary. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.com, direct link in the description.